I have screen sharing abilities, please.
Donna, did you give Megan screen sharing abilities?
Oh, hold on. I'm trying to do that now.
Sorry.
Okay, she should be good.
Great.
Yep, I'm great. Thanks. Okay, how's the size here?
Looks great, Megan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I think we'll jump in and get started. Thank you so much for all coming on today. We do realize how busy you all are, and of course the weather is certainly having an impact on everyone. So thank you for joining us. And today we'll be back together for another hour or so. We've got an action-packed hour. We're hoping to keep you up and motivated and excited about the work of empowering a healthier generation. But I'd like to pass it off to Bob to say hello to everybody. Dr. DeFore,
I'm trying to manipulate two screens, so I'm sorry. I just want to welcome everybody. I know we've had snow over the past 2 weeks, which have caused us to postpone the meeting, but we thought it was prudent to do that so that we could reach out to as wide an audience as possible. And it looks like we have a good attendance today at the meeting. So I'll turn it back over to Amanda. And Amanda, you're going to introduce Courtney?
Yes, absolutely. I will mention too, for any of the wellness coordinators that we have on right now, we are doing an article on empowering a healthier generation in our full Democrat spread, likely in the next week or two. We are looking for a photo. If you are a wellness coordinator at your school district, we are looking for a small photo of yourself and a quote answering the question, what does empowering a healthier generation mean to you? So if you're so willing to be part of that Democrat article, you can go ahead and email that directly to myself, Courtney, or Megan, anybody on the 180 team really. It would just be a small photo and an answer to the question, what does empowering a healthier generation mean to you? And I'll toss it over to Megan. Oh, you're muted, Megan, sorry.
Hi, everybody. Thanks again for joining us today. So we are going to go quickly through our slides, and then we're going to leave it to our resource committee. They're going to do their presentations. So Amanda will talk quickly about the county health rankings and Sullivan County data. We'll give a very brief Healthier Generation application update. We'll go through those presentations, a quick Q&A, and then closing and next steps. But first, we would like to introduce you to Courtney Larson. She is our Healthier Generation Coordinator. She started with us recently. She missed our first meeting in January because we hadn't hired her yet, but now she's on board. She jumped right in. She's doing a fantastic job. She's on here amongst the masses right now, so you'll hear from her pretty soon. But as you can see, the Healthier Generation Coordinator is the liaison between the schools and Sullivan 180. She will work directly with the Healthier Generation advisors to answer any questions. She'll help with grant ideas, applications, and she will facilitate the relationship between organizations, schools, and Sullivan 180. I'm sure that she's been in touch with all of you already.
Just hold on. Put him through on my line.
Bob, if you wouldn't mind muting, that'd be awesome. We're going to share a quick video, and this really is a video to prove that the school wellness policies have a much bigger part of impacting total health outcomes. You might feel like, what's the big deal about a school wellness policy? Well, really, it has a much greater impact than you may be aware, and this is directly from the county health rankings and roadmaps. So we'll share this quick video with you, and then I'll share some of the Sullivan County data.
We all have a role to play in shaping our community's health. There are so many factors that influence how long we live and how well we live. Think of all the things that affect our health. Sure, we could all eat better, move more, and make sure we get our annual checkups. But there's more to it than that. The quality of our homes, the safety of our neighborhoods, and our chance at a good education all influence health in the short and long term. But how can we understand how all these things fit together? Meet the County Health Rankings Model. The model illustrates a broad vision for health. The model shows us that policies and programs play an important role in influencing the health factors that, in turn, shape a community's health outcomes. That means not just how long we live, but also how well we live. Health is complex. The County Health Rankings Model helps us see all the factors that impact health and understand where we can take action so everyone thrives. Visit countyhealthrankings.org to get started.
So some of your schools have robust wellness policies. Some of you are still working on your wellness policies, but that's really a great example of how that wellness policy feeds into so much more, as well as programs. And that's right there next to policies. You're going to hear a lot about programs today that will help you. Really quickly, of course, we are still, unfortunately, at the bottom of the county health rankings in Sullivan. However, we have moved up a peg. We moved from 61 to 60 out of 62 counties. And New York, in fact, we are part of this statewide movement that has made some of the largest gains in all of the county health rankings, moving from 18 to number 10 and continues to rise. So that's a great sign for us. We're part of a state that's really making change, and that includes this empowering a healthier generation work. You'll see over there, those are the county childhood overweight and obesity rates, school district specific. So those are our most recent rates for 2014 through 2016. We don't have anything beyond that quite yet. These are pre-pandemic rates, and I will tell you that before the pandemic, our rates of childhood overweight and obesity were increasing. So you can't tell me that now in the midst of the pandemic, our rates aren't certainly increasing. Also on there, you see 53% of Sullivan County third graders with untreated cavities, and that hasn't changed as well. So this whole empowering a healthier generation movement, why is it so critical now? The time to act is absolutely now. And based on pre-pandemic data, we look at that community health needs assessment, and Sullivan County stacks up in the Hudson Valley as really having the highest percentage of youth receiving school reduced and free lunch, highest percentage of school-age children and adolescents that are overweight or obese. And as I mentioned before, that rate is climbing. Highest percentage of youth reporting poor mental health, that's self-reporting poor mental health, highest percentage of disconnected youth, highest percentage of emergency room visits involving opioid overdoses, increasing rates of STDs, lowest level of educational attainment in the Mid-Hudson region, and lastly, increasing rates of suicide. Again, this is all based on a community health needs assessment that was done prior to the pandemic. So of course, we just bring you back to this organizational chart as a reminder of here in Sullivan County, we're not going to let that hold us back. We are not going to let the data sit there and us not do something to respond. So here's this org chart that you've seen likely already, but this really is this movement, grassroots movement that we are looking to start by empowering a healthier generation advisor in each and every school building and getting them connected to the school resources, which is really the focus of today, making sure that you all in the schools, as well as your wellness coordinators and your leaders, know what you have access to. The number one barrier to improving health in Sullivan County is knowledge of existing resources. People just don't know what they don't know. And if you don't know you have access to these resources, you can't tap into them for your students. So we're hoping to bridge that gap and continue our work with you. And now I see a turtle there. And if you don't already know, that turtle on the slide means to squat, stretch. Thank you, B. Moser. Do something, move, get the brain ignited. Take an opportunity. You'll see those throughout the slides, so we keep ourselves engaged. All right, Megan, next slide.
Okay, so a very quick application update. As most of you already know, our original date for the Healthier Generation Advisor stipends was the end of January, but you told us that was too soon and you needed more time, and we were very, very happy to oblige. The deadline was extended to March 5th. We've gotten several applications in, so thank you very, very much. We will accept them through March 5th, beyond if we need to, but March 5th is our goal. The next application that will be due will be the Healthier Generation Preparation Grants, but we have until April 16th, and we're here for you all along the way. So what will happen is March 5th will come, we'll have all of those applications in. Within just a couple days of that date passing, we'll get back to all of the Healthier Generation advisors so that they can sign their MOU. Some of them are on this call today. Thank you so much for coming. I see you. Courtney?
Okay, so this is going to be the focus of our meeting today, the School Resource Committee presentation. So these are the different organizations that are available in Sullivan County that we'll be hearing from today so that you know what's available for the school and the different projects.
I see another turtle, so feel free to take a stretch or a neck roll or whatever it is that you might need to keep on keeping on. I'm also going to share that I have a little timer here. You can't see it with my virtual background, but I have a 5-minute timer and I'm not ashamed to use it. So some of these organizations are with us today, some are not, and we will scroll through their slides, but you'll get a copy of the presentation. If they are here, they will have 5 minutes on the clock to give you an elevator pitch of what it is that they can do for you at your school, what resources they can bring to you. And feel free to type questions or anything like that into the chat so we can keep things going. But Megan, I think Planned Parenthood said they will not be here with us today, correct?
Correct. So all of these slides that they provided us will be included in the follow-up email that we send you tomorrow with this recording. So we will be sure to give you all of this information. Next up is Salt and Engine, our dear friend Tom Bosket, who is here live. He provided us a video, but he's so much more entertaining live. Tom, would you like to say hi and then I'll play your video?
I can gladly say hello. I just want to watch the video because I want to see if there's any questions at the end, but I think it's 5 minutes exactly, so we'll be set.
Great, thank you.
Hello, my name is Thomas Bosket, and I'm the program manager for SALT, Sullivan Allies Leading Together's Drug-Free Communities Grant. I want to thank you all for taking a few minutes to listen to me. Within our first year of the Drug-Free Communities funding, we've been able to deliver over 300,000 meals directly door to door of those in need, now establishing the first mobile soup kitchen and food pantry in Sullivan County. We also opened a youth hub in Monticello in collaboration with the Cornell Cooperative Extension and Monticello Central School District that had 35 to 60 youth a night attending creativity trainings, filmmaking, sports events, equity and justice classes, and making meals together each night. Both of these accomplishments reduced collateral issues that fuel substance use. If we did not exist, access to trainings on current topics relevant to substance use prevention would not occur. Food outreach and resultant insecurities would increase, innovative healthy youth programming would decrease significantly, and our weekly outreach visits to each and every village to learn about our neighbors and what's the most pressing concerns that we can address would cease. So we thank you all for joining us in that outreach mission. A lot of you have been on those over the years, and it's a joy. It's one of the greatest parts of my week is actually bonding with you all on those meetings. And then lastly, I wanted to say we have 8 objectives or eight goals to attend to over the year. These are the 8 goals. And there's about 40 something objectives associated with them. They're all around reducing youth substance use in Sullivan County. Our catchment area is tightly Fallsburg, Monticello, and Liberty, but loosely it's the entire county where we'll address issues in Livingston Manor, Roscoe, Jeffersonville. We've been to different places. We are, if I just read a few things like establishing quarterly meetings with the schools. We've been meeting with quite a few schools regularly. Listening sessions with youth and adults around alcohol and marijuana use and the perceptions and attitudes towards marijuana use. Our youth group just finished an alcohol awareness campaign for Super Bowl weekend. where they stickered over 2,000 liquor containers and had conversations with adults in liquor stores, just learning about what the typical attitude or perception is towards alcohol use amongst adults and their perception of youth use within the county. So that was kind of interesting and it was pretty exciting, actually, I have to say. We had a good time. The youth are also designing campaigns to inform people about opportunities such as like creating films. They've created, over the last 5 years, our students have created over 80-something films on local issues, from justice, equity, foster care, racism, I'm trying to happiness, actually, death and processing death and what that means for them. Some of those films are picked up by our local government to be seen, and public health actually uses one of them in foster care, in helping potential foster care parents understand foster children better from a foster child's perspective. I think that's probably enough in a blurb like this. If you want to discuss anything, please reach out to me. My email's tb363@cornell.edu. And I look forward to talking to you all, finding better ways we can serve our youth in the county. I also am the co-founder of Engine, which is a civic creative center. And you can think of it as civic in that it's not commercial, and creative in that it's not destructive, but it's also looking at the arts, as I like to say, not as a product, but as a human behavior. And it's a way that we process what we're going through. Our culture has sadly relegated the arts to decoration and entertainment, or what I often hear is self-expression. But there's lots of ways that we do all those things. And there aren't many ways that we actually complexly integrate all the experiences we're having and synthesize them into either what I like to call a record, which is the record of the past, something that you've already experienced coming up to the present moment, all the way to projecting into the future and mapping out where you'd like to go or things you'd like to see happen. And that's what people do with drawing, with filmmaking, with campaigns, mapping and analyzing their environment and looking at overall patterns. If you think about how you would represent a pattern of something you see in your life that repeats and aggravates you, and you think, how would I show that to people? It's really quite difficult. And that's what we charge our youth with doing. So if you have a project for us, let us know. We'll come have some fun together. And I'm sorry I can't be there today. I have a conflicting meeting at the same time. Thank you again, Megan, Amanda, and the team over there at Sullivan 180 for putting this all together. Have a beautiful afternoon. Bye-bye.
That's great. Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you for pre-recording that. Certainly makes that easy and perfect. And now it looks like we've got the Forest School and Caroline on deck. And Eric?
Right. Do you have our slides? Yeah.
Great.
Okay,
Hi.
great. So I'm going to introduce this and then Caroline's going to take over. We're an organization called Waste for Life. And the Forest School work that we do is part of a subsidiary organization that we established called Standing People Together. Waste for Life is really our global work that we continue, and we deal with poverty reducing solutions to environmental problems. And this is a picture from work that we did for many years in Sri Lanka. We work with people who are at the intersection of poverty and waste. And what we do is help them upcycle the waste that they collect into products that they can either use or sell. This is what you're looking at is a waste plastic reinforced with banana fiber, which this woman processes banana fiber, she and the group that we work with. And then they turn that into products like notebooks or lampshades or table mats or books that they can sell.
Ceiling tiles.
What?
Or ceiling tiles.
Or ceiling tiles that we've put on outhouses, low-cost housing outhouses. Next slide. Oh, and just to tie that into something, that work is kind of along the lines of the work that Juanita's group is doing, the Youth Economic Group Coordinator in Liberty. And actually there was a point Tom mentioned the hub in Monticello, and we were working there when there were face-to-face gatherings there. And there was a moment when we thought there was a possibility of collaborating with Juanita, and we hope that we'll be able to do so in the future, because I think that there's a lot of synergies between the work that we've done and the work that she's doing. So SPT, Standing People Together. Caroline, I'll let you say something about that.
We're transitioning to what we're doing here locally. Our original precursor of the Forest School was a bush school in Australia. So I won't say more about that, but if you can go on to the next slide. And here we've opened a forest exploratorium. So very much like it sounds, to explore, taking nature as a place of discovery and inquiry, and not only for ecology and not only for plant biology, but also for any element of life: social science, geography, art, music, science and engineering. And we invite children onto our property at Kalamunda, which is in Hankins, to have forest school sessions with us. And we have often themes such as last semester drama in the woods, or we've had Greek mythology or mythology and myths and legends, or STEM related programs. And we also go into schools where they are interested. At Sullivan West, we have run a couple of after school programs there, supported by Sullivan Renaissance. Thank you. And we've recently done this online as a distance learning, but in nature program, which is very exciting. What we want to be able to do to support this healthy initiative is to provide professional development for teachers and advice and consultancy to schools to help them set up and understand that it doesn't need to cost much to get kids outside, and it's healthy for the mind. It helps learning difficulties and behaviors, and of course it's healthy for the soul. And Amanda just asked me to mention something that has just happened, which is we have New York Department of Environment and Conservation have offered seedlings for schools again. And those of schools who do not know about this, Sullivan West has done this for a while, and we've just reapplied for them this year. You can get 50 seedlings to plant on your school grounds, and kids can be involved in learning about environmental restoration. There's learning programs that go along with it. All you have to do is fill in a really simple form. So we hope that the schools in the area will apply and create their own little place to create a forest school. Thank you.
That's the
so this is I don't know if we've got any time left, but this is what I was proposing for the area. That if schools were interested, we could offer, kind of a free online webinar, and then followed by, the next step, which would be a site visit. The next step would be planning meetings. We could run pilots for schools, and we could support and, help schools know what to buy. And then eventually, if they want to go that far, offer professional development. So that's kind of what we want to offer this community.
Thank you so much. That was perfect, and certainly a great opportunity as all of you get into your grant applications. You really want to keep all these partners in mind. All right, we've got Prasad up next, and I believe we have a video from Dr. Ascara to share.
Prasad Children's Dental Health Program has brought 22 years of happy, healthy smiles to children in need, and has received many awards and been honored by the New York State and New York State Dental Foundation for its work. Prasad Children's Dental Health Program is committed to improving the dental health of children from low-income families by providing affordable, comprehensive dental services through education, prevention, and treatment. Sullivan County has one of the highest poverty rates in New York State. It also has one of the highest rates of tooth decay, and there are very few dentists in the area. Dentistry is an essential healthcare service because of its role in evaluating, preventing, and treating oral diseases, which we know can adversely affect overall health and lead to poor attendance and performance at school. Since the program's launch in 1998, the Prasad CDHP Mobile Dental Clinic and School-Based Health Center has provided more than 84,000 toothbrushes and 27,700 dental visits to children at schools across Sullivan County. The convenient access to dental services on school premises is an invaluable resource in a county with little public transportation and many low-income families who cannot afford to miss work. Some children have previously had traumatic experiences with dental care. Our staff makes a gentle and concerted effort to allay their fears, explaining each step of the process. By the time the treatment is finished, the child is happy, unafraid, and eager to come back for the next visit. Each year, we treat and educate more than 4,000 children.
Dr. Ascar, you have about a minute left. If there's anything you wanted to share.
Oh, only a minute? Well, thank you. So I just want to share some information about research that was done after the pandemic. And unfortunately, 40% of parents in the US has not been taking their children to the dentist. And this is really very concerning. In addition, some research shows that during the pandemic, children and families ate more candy, unfortunately, and sugar. So I just want you, the video is self-explanatory. We have been serving this community for 23 years. We have high quality services. You have seen the infection control. We comply with all the highest standards to make sure the children and our staff are safe. So we are a great resource. Very few counties have a dental clinic that Prasad, and we are here for our community. So I hope I could partner with all of you to make sure that more children benefit from our services and they have healthy smiles and we contribute to their well-being. So I look forward to continue partnering with all of you. And thank you, Amanda and team. I appreciate the opportunity to present. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ascar. We are truly so lucky to have Prasad. It's very unique to have that in our community. Thank you. All right, we've got Yeg up next and Juanita.
Hello, everybody. So the Youth Economic Group is part of Rural and Migrant Ministry. Rural and Migrant Ministry is a nonprofit organization that serves rural communities and migrant communities all throughout New York State. What YEG in particular does is we serve the youth of Sullivan County. So like the other programs that you heard from before already, which you know, love to you guys. I can't wait to partner with you all. We serve Monticello, Liberty, and Fallsburg. And if possible, we can expand to other schools in Sullivan County. So at most of the time, I'm the only person working here. So the only reason that we don't serve the rest of the schools is because of transportation. I provide the transportation for the youth, pick them up from their homes, bring them to the center here that I'm at right now. And then we drop them off back home. Sometimes I have interns or fellows that help me, and everybody that's involved with the youth, with RMM, not just in my center, all gets child safety training to work with all of the youth that we're working with. But YEG in particular was created by the youth of Sullivan County. It was their choice to create this particular program out of the different youth empowerment programs that we have at Rural and Migrant Ministry. What their idea was that there is a lack of jobs in Sullivan County for young people. All of the jobs that are available in Sullivan County are usually taken by older people because of the lack of jobs for everybody. So what they wanted to do was they created their own job, which is a screen printing cooperative. And if you've seen me in the background running around, is because we have some t-shirts that are due this week that were ordered from a high school group in Liberty. So it's an economic opportunity, as you can see on the screen, and all of the designs created by the youth here, not our custom orders that are ordered from other organizations. They are created by the youth to raise awareness for a specific cause that they feel strongly about in the moment. So our youth are currently working on designs in regards to the Black Lives Matter movement and unity across the community. It's always social justice based, and all of the profits that we make go towards paychecks for our youth so that they have money to spend for, you know, art materials, school materials, food, whatever they need. And as you can see here, we have a really high graduation rate compared to the actual high school graduation rates of the high schools that we serve. The YEG high school graduation rate so far has been 100%. I don't think I've had anybody drop out. We even had 4 years ago, one of our members was homeless and had dropped out of high school, joined YEG, got back into high school, graduated high school, and then went on, I believe, to some sort of secondary education. 98% of our members are all matriculated in a secondary education, whether it be a trade or college or whatever else they decide go on to. And the next slide, please. So like I mentioned before, we're part of Rural and Migrant Ministry, but we are also the cooperative that the youth created are also part of a union, which is the New York State United Teachers. So we are union affiliated, which means we can participate in any union events that the schools have. And we can, sell you guys whatever products you guys need because we are union affiliated, US made products. And then we are recruiting right now. Our recruitment is for young people between the ages of 15 through 17, but we have members from the ages of 14 through 19. As long as they're still in high school, they still get to be part of the group. And we are even expanding it to youth that are starting at college. So if you have any youth that you feel like would benefit from a program like mine, please contact me. And then there's just on the next slide, just some information about their actual cooperative.
That's great, Juanita. Thank you. Your 5 minutes was very well timed. All right. Next up, we have got Kyle Goldstein with A New Breath. Is Kyle here with us today? I know we've pushed this meeting a zillion times.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Oh, great. Good. Kyle, good to have you here.
Good to be here. Yeah, so a little bit about myself. I'm a former educator myself. I'm actually a special education teacher in New York City Public School. And with that, I understand that students are our top priority once we step foot inside the school. And if I'm being completely honest, even when we are not physically inside the school, students are always a mainstay in our minds. Even when we're not in school because of the pandemic, we're still thinking about students. And that has been heightened even more so since the pandemic and numerous lockdowns that we've experienced, which haven't allowed teachers to physically be in the same space as their students. Having said all this, there's something missing from the equation, and that is, in my mind, self-awareness. And it sounds like a fairly easy concept, but it's hard to understand in theory. But when I'm talking about self-awareness is putting it into action is a whole different story. And what I mean by that is, as an educator, you can get lost in your work and helping your students that we forget to take care of ourselves. You're constantly pushing your wants, your needs to the back of the line because you are trying to help your students, in addition to possibly helping your spouse, children, or your family. And that list can grow even knowing it. And then you wake up one day realizing that you are no longer your own top priority. And I don't want this to come off selfish because it's not, but we have to put ourselves first a lot of times. It's like, actually, Amanda told me this, and the analogy stuck with me is, it's like the oxygen masks in a flight. If we can't help ourselves first with the mask, how are we going to help somebody else? So we really need to put ourselves first before we can truly help anyone else. So pretty much my mission is to promote wellness through the school workplace. And while focusing on stress reduction amongst teachers, this will help retain staff, boost overall work performance, and job satisfaction. This program was designed to support the physical, social, mental, emotional, and professional well-being of both students and staff, but with the initial focus on the teachers. This will effectively promote fewer absences, increase occupational longevity for staff members, and can create stability from incremental student growth and access. This program helps teachers develop healthy habits and behaviors in an educational yet appropriate way, which can establish positive roles for the students. The word wellness gets thrown around all the time today, and everybody has their own definitions, but according to the World Health Organization, it's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity, or a conscious, self-directed, and evolving process of achieving full potential from the National Wellness Institution. But myself, I'm more focused on a more holistic approach to wellness, which if you can see from this diagram is comprised of 6 dimensions or 6 areas: physical, social, intellectual, which would also be the mental, spiritual, emotional, and occupational, which is your job. Each dimension has its own contribution to your overall wellness. But for the sake of this program and introduction, I would focus mainly on the physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual well-being, because I believe when you concentrate on those 3 areas, the mind, body, and the soul, it can seep and permeate into the other areas. And as a natural byproduct, it can benefit your workplace, performance, and the relationships with your colleagues. So this is pretty much just an idea of what I could provide in regards to physical, mental, and spiritual wellness. Now, by looking at it, it can seem overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. I will introduce aspects of each dimension in a digestible fashion for people of all levels and current knowledge. So what I really want to focus on, like I said before, is the intellectual, the mental wellness, the nutritional from the body and the physical, and then also your the spiritual wellness. So using these 3, I want to create a program, or almost a, pretty much a program for teachers that they can start with, that's digestible, that's easy, that they can incorporate into their lives, because everybody's busy. I understand that teachers are very busy, but if we don't, or if you don't set aside time for yourself, a little bit of time, 5, 10, 15 minutes for yourself, it's going to end up not just hurting yourself, but hurting the other people in your life, because you won't be able to show up completely for everybody in your life. So I think there's one more slide, I think. Yeah. So this is pretty much what it would look like as far as the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. Physical, we have the exercise. And for me, I am a yoga teacher, and I had a yoga studio in Liberty. So, I mean, it would be yoga, stretching, kind of connecting your mind to your body, nutrition, healthy eating habits, and hydration, which sounds easy, but a lot of us don't drink enough water. And then with the mental wellness, it's breathing techniques, learning how to breathe. A lot of us, and I'm not saying you in particular, but don't know how to breathe correctly. Sometimes we're breathing not from the diaphragm, we're breathing from the chest, and we're hyperventilating. Prioritizing sleep, practicing gratitude and mindfulness, and then also the spiritual wellness, which is the meditation, alone time, which, it's okay to be alone and keep that time for yourself. Journaling, learning how to reflect on your thoughts and being analytical to your own life and almost taking a personal inventory of your life every day. And then nature, which is similar to one of the previous slides where, being out in nature is good for the mind, the body, and the soul. So this is a little bit of what I would bring to the table. It's not catered exactly to a specific program, but it can be created, personalized for whatever school or whatever teachers that want to participate in it. So that's pretty much it.
Kyle, that was great. Thank you. And congratulations on being a Sullivan 180 Health Hero. It was so fun to talk about you on the air today. You've done some amazing work and really impacted a lot of people. So congratulations.
Yeah, a friend of mine said that he heard it. So it was nice to hear that.
Good. Kudos. All right. We've got next up a single bite and Audrey Garrow.
Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to talk about 2 programs, which I hope will be a resource for not only the schools, but the entire community. Many of us live and in addition to work here in Sullivan County. So I appreciate you hearing about our family meal program, first of all. For those of you who are not familiar, A Single Bite is not-for-profit. We provide our services free of charge, and that includes our family meal program. We started in March of last year when schools closed, working very closely with each district to determine families that may need some nutritional support. And that takes the form of a prepared meal, which is delivered either by the school districts, by school bus, or by volunteers directly to the homes of people who are experiencing food insecurity. And I think that Amanda's comments about the general health of Sullivan County are the primary motivation for A Single Bite in general. I'm trying to uplift this county in terms of our health rating, our quality of life. And the family meal program, if there's one thing that I would like for you all to do is to think about anyone that you may know. And as I said, we are working closely with the schools, with other organizations, including SALT and the United Way and several food pantries to reach out into the community. But if there's anyone who comes to mind needing a meal, we are committed to being a resource for anyone in this county who's experiencing food insecurity or real hunger by getting them meals as often as they need. And so at the end of this presentation, we will share how to get in touch, I'm sure. But that is one way that we're serving the community and helping to promote health in general. The other way, I think next slide, is our classroom education program. And sadly, while we were poised to roll this program out in partnership with the family and consumer science educators in the county, we had to stop that in March. And in the meantime, have developed a virtual version of our classroom program, which is designed to encourage young people, specifically 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in the county, to think about the choices that they make and to hopefully choose real food over not real or processed food. When we do get back into the classroom, hopefully in the fall, we will present 4 sessions sequentially to each class in each school district. And again, these are free programs that are scheduled to meet the needs of the educators and also the students. And those 4 programs include a one in-classroom introductory session, then a field trip to a farm or someplace where real food is either produced or grown. And then we go back into the classroom where we not only introduce young people to foods they may not have tried before, encouraging them to try at least a single bite, hence the name, but we also talk to them about the health benefits. And one of the things that's unique about this program is, even though we're working with educators, we come in with a chef and hospitality professionals who I think bring a kind of a new energy, and also a reminder that there are people in the community who really do care about these young people and their families. And then the last thing we do is, in partnership with Foster Supply Hospitality, we bring each class to a restaurant for a sit-down meal experience where we remind them of some of the concepts that we've reviewed in the classroom, and then also give them the opportunity to understand a little bit more about where food comes from the perspective of chefs and general managers, and introduce them to the idea that they can make good choices, whether it's in school, at home, or when possible, out in the community. And we do recognize that it's a very diverse community. And going back to the family meal program, that there are economic and social challenges to people making good choices. And that is something that we have taken great pains to consider in the development of this program. We do hope to get some wonderful feedback from educators through the end of this school year in preparation, as I said, for getting back into the classroom. So I thank you all for your time. Really, we're very happy to be partnering with Sullivan 180 to be able to share the messages of a single bite. Again, a reminder of why there is such a great need in the community, and our commitment to continuing to work with our partners to deliver not only food, but our food-based mission and messaging to Sullivan County.
Thank you so much, Audrey. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Independent Living.
Hi, my name is Evelise. I'm the program site manager at Independent Living. There she is.
I don't know what happened.
All right. And this is Janine. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. Somebody had called me on my phone and interrupted everything, so I apologize. Hi, everybody. I'm Janine. I work at Independent Living. I'm a team leader for the peers on the agency. We work with people with physical and mental disabilities, and other people too. So we're not for profit, and we are an advocacy center that provides services to assist people with disabilities. to live fully integrated and self-directed lives. A lot of times people hear independent living and they think housing. Not true. We do a lot of different things, and we want to offer a lot of different things to the schools. We provide the services to people with all physical and mental disabilities of all ages and their family, people with disabilities living in their own homes, supported living arrangement or institutional settings, school personnel, business and industry, local government agencies, human service organizations, hospitals and the medical community, and civic organizations and volunteer organizations. So there are independent living skills specialists. They do peer counseling, independent living skills training, budgeting and things like that, information and referral services, for individual and systems advocacy. It's a really big thing for us, is to advocate for people, to help them to advocate for themselves. Housing assistance and information, benefits advisement, education, disability awareness training, which we can provide to the schools, assistance in registering to vote, architectural and communication barrier consultation and advocacy. And then there's also a program that does consumer-directed personal assistance services. It's called the CD Pass program, and that's a consumer-directed home health care, and it's a program that's done through Medicaid. And then also we do an Access VR orientation presentation to help people get back into the workforce. And this is where what I love, this is my passion, the peer transition diversion services for mental health. So I want to thank Kyle Goldstein for talking about the 6 dimensions of wellness. We actually go by, for us, we go by the 8 dimensions of wellness for SAMHSA. And we are so I really want to work with Kyle because of all the stuff that he does and stuff that we can kind of relate to with people. We talk to people about all those dimensions. We do all the stuff that the ILS specialist does. We work on the unit with Garnet Health, the behavioral health unit. We work with people from Sullivan County Jail. I'm actually sitting at mobile mental health right now, working over there. We also do the Sullivan County Single Point of Access meetings, the SPOA meetings. We do wellness groups for mental health and substance use disorders. We do wellness and discharge planning. And then the peer parent education and advocacy. They do all the ILSS core services and peer services. They do, they get referrals from the emergency room for mental health. They sit on the children's SPOA. They work with the school district and referrals, and they do a lot of education advocacy.
To add on, so how can we help the schools independent living? So one big thing, we offer a lot of wellness, not only to the children, especially during this time, but we can also offer services to the families of the children that go there, which is very important because if there's a lot going on at home, like how's that child going to focus? How's that child going to be at school? So like talking to Megan when we did Take 5, it's very hard to say what we do in 5 minutes. We offer a lot of services. We help link a lot of people to different resources in the community. So this way people can stay in the community, benefit from what's in the community.
That's terrific. Thank you so much. Believe me, we realize this 5 minutes is brutal. And all of you are so passionate about your work, but we want to make sure we get as much in for all of these folks that are doing wellness at their school district. And next up, we've got SNAP-Ed and Cornell Cooperative Extension, Bea and Sue Ann.
Perfect. Thank you. I know it's late already, so we're going to keep that super short. Next slide, please. So what is SNAP-Ed? First, let's start with what is SNAP. SNAP is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as food stamps. And SNAP-Ed is the nutrition education and obesity prevention component of SNAP. And we are a federally funded national program. Next slide, please. Swan? Did we lose Swan?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm here.
I think you jumped the slide. Can you go one back? Thank you.
Okay, so what is Cornell Cooperative Extension, Sullivan County. We are a subordinate government agency with an educational mission that operates under a form of organization and administration approved by Cornell University. As New York's land-grant university, Cornell administers the system in each state. Each Cornell Cooperative Extension is associated as an independent employer that is governed by an elected board of directors with general oversight from Cornell University.
Next slide, please. So there are way too many words on there. We have many objectives. I'm gonna tell you the three most important. We want people to eat more fruits and vegetables, so eat more nutrient-dense foods. We want people to drink more water instead of sugary drinks. And we want people to move more because exercise is so important. Next slide, please. Sven. Sven is
taking over.
Your slide.
You or your dog, Sue-Ann.
I think she cannot hear us. Okay, anyway, let me go. So CCE Sullivan County, because I also work at Sullivan County, we are connecting people. If people have problems or questions about nutrition and health, they come to CCE. If they have a question about youth or families, same thing. So we also deal with commercial and consumer agriculture, and our community, Sullivan County community, is super important to us. Next slide, please. Sven, do you hear us?
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay, sorry about that. It was weird. Okay, so we have a lot of things that we can help the schools with. For one, the New York State Farm to School program connects schools with local farms and food producers to strengthen local agriculture, improve student health, and promote regional food system awareness, such as the taste testings that we have done around the districts. Also, we have a program called New York Agriculture in the Classroom that almost all districts participate in the elementary school level, which is in partnership of Cornell University, the Department of Ag and Markets, New York State Education Department, and Extension, along with the Farm Bureau, to increase agriculture literacy in our state. Next is the wellness committees. CCE sits on multiple district committees and brings resources on comprehensive physical activity programs, nutrition ed programs, and works with wellness policy updates and languages. We also have an assessment called the WellSat, which is a tool that helps score and improve your local school wellness policy by identifying where it is strong and where it could be improved. We can help you with resources that you need. We also provide evaluation and survey data to help you see how well your building and your districts are doing in the areas of nutrition, education, and physical activity. Okay, we have a program called the Smarter Lunchrooms. Smarter Lunchrooms promote healthy eating, cafeteria makeovers that we've done in Fallsburg and in Liberty and in Monticello. They involve changes as simple as hanging student artwork or rearranging the food in the cafeteria to encourage the students to eat more of the foods that we want them to eat, like fruits and vegetables. Also, lastly, I am a registered proctor, certified Serve Safe manager, and a certified food handler trainer for food service employees if you're looking for any kind of training. Next slide.
Okay, thank you so much, Sue-Ann. Thank you, Bea. Much appreciated. A lot of resources at Cooperative Extension. So if you haven't reached out to them from your school yet, you'll definitely want to get that done. But next up, we have got the Hurleyville Arts Center.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tal Beery, and I am the Chief Development Officer for the Hurleyville Performing Arts Center. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Megan and Courtney, and the rest of the amazing team at Sullivan 180 for spearheading this important movement and bringing us all together. Honestly, you're all doing such inspirational work. It's an honor to be presenting among you. So thank you very much. So the Hurleyville Performing Arts Center is a vibrant hub for adventurous art that contributes to an enthusiastically inclusive and environmentally resilient Catskills region. We put on performances, fine arts exhibitions, indoor and outdoor films, and arts education and outreach programs. We're located in Hurleyville, which is equidistant from the Monticello, Liberty, and Fallsburg Central School Districts. We're originally incubated by the Center for Discovery, but now we're an independent community-supported arts center. And these days we're doing a ton of virtual and hybrid arts programs that provide relief, inspiration, and connection to our audiences and neighbors who've been impacted by the pandemic and related issues. So on February 27th, in partnership with SALT's Committee for Equity and Justice, just as an example, we're hosting a virtual book club style community conversation following our presentation of Oliver King's reading of The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. That was a lot of information in there, but it's a wonderful event that we're hosting then if you're interested in racial justice and in the history of racial justice in the United States. On March 5th, we'll host a virtual performance by the legendary Isabella Rossellini, and you're all invited to that as well. And very soon we'll be opening the Tango Cafe, which is a restaurant and a state-of-the-art culinary arts education facility headed by world-famous chef Tom Valenti. We're planning to offer workplace training, nutrition education, and more in the cafe. And I'm excited to let you know more about that once we open. And I'm also excited to be working with Sullivan 80 on a film and event series that will take place between October 2021 and June 2022 with the aim of exposing youth and educators to some of the most striking barriers to health facing the next generation. And that's this slide that you see in front of you. More importantly, the aim is to grow a countywide informed collective that's ready to advocate for change and to break down those barriers. Our whole team, from our artistic director, Janet Karras, to our executive director, Erin Dudley, who's also on this call, are deeply committed to presenting arts programs that create a more compassionate, more inclusive, and healthy region. And so we're enthusiastic about partnering with all of you. And if you move to the next slides, I'd love to just show you, if you haven't been to our space yet, we have a giant 6,800 square foot ballroom. The next slide, I believe, is our gallery space. We have a gallery space and the adjacent building the adjacent side of the building where we can host in-person community conversations. We also have a robust, now we've invested in a robust virtual set of virtual platforms that can facilitate these kinds of engagements online. And then in the next slide, you'll see we have a gorgeous cinema where we'll be hosting our Empowering a Healthier Generation film and event series. We're really psyched about that. So I'd like to turn it over to Erin for a moment so she can introduce herself and fill in any gaps that I might have left. Again, Amanda, Megan, Courtney, thank you so much for hosting this. It's wonderful.
Thank you, Tal. Hi, everybody. I echo Tal's sentiments about this extraordinary presentation. I absolutely love learning about all the incredible works you are all doing. Thank you so much, Amanda. As always, your genius has incredible ripple effects. Thank you.
My kids don't think so, Erin.
Well, you know, I understand that, but they will again. They did, and they will again, especially with all this work you're doing. No doubt, no doubt. I also just want to say that I'm super excited about the programs that we're going to be presenting with Sullivan 180. One of our missions is to create intergenerational content where young people have the microphone in equal amount as their elders and have the opportunity in a safe space to share honest information with one another. And I think that this series that we're doing with Sullivan 180 and Empowering a Healthier Generation will do just that. So I'm super excited about that. Thank you for including us.
Thank you. Thank you all from the Hurleyville Arts Center. We're so glad to have you here. The Center for Discovery cannot be here today, but their slides are there and you'll have them when you receive the presentation. I do want to actually, Megan, if we could just scroll down to QPR really quick and let Jenny Sanchez, who is our Mental Health and Grants Program Manager at Sullivan 180, share about this resource that we definitely hope you are sharing in your school communities right now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Amanda. So I wanted to briefly tell you about a few different opportunities we have for your school districts to take part of, and they're all mental health training based. So first is Intro to Mental Health and Wellness. There's a version for school staff and a version for parents. They're an hour long each, and they're both recorded on our website, sullivan180.org. And I'm also available to lead them live over Zoom. Leading them live allows for a more interactive workshop and time for questions. And these trainings were created to address concerns from parents and educators who were looking for ways to help and understand the challenges their children and students have been facing during the pandemic. And so we go over a working definition of mental health and trauma and the child traumatic response, an understanding of protective and risk factors, warning signs in children and teens, tips for self-care, and resources available in Sullivan County to access help. And then as you can see on the screen, we also have a QPR training. I'm a suicide prevention trainer through QPR, and QPR stands for Question, Persuade, Refer. It's a 60-minute evidence-based suicide prevention training followed by 30 minutes of Q&A. And the goal here is to train gatekeepers in Sullivan County to recognize warning signs of suicide, and because of their training, know how and where to find help. So we're offering this free training through SUNY Sullivan's online community learning courses on the third Monday of the first 5 months of 2021 at 4 p.m. So the next one will be held on March 15th. I'm also available to provide QPR trainings virtually for your school staff separately, as I lead a module called QPR in a school-based setting. And so please visit our website to learn more, and feel free to contact me if you're interested in scheduling one of these. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jenny. So wow, that was a really robust hour, a lot of programs and resources. And every time we meet, we just hope that you get that sense, that hug from Sullivan County and all of the resources, all of the programs that want to come and help. And what you should also know is really these programs are being supported by your school leaders, your superintendents, and of course, BOCES. So you really don't have to question, is this organization vetted? Are they okay? Can I bring them in? Yes, these organizations have been cleared to work in your schools and do this valuable work. I know there's just at least one organization that did not have slides, but is here. Maura, you want to speak briefly on Warrior Kids?
Sure, I do. Thank you so much for giving me a second of your time, Amanda and Sullivan 180. You guys are always so great. I did just want to share that Garnet Health has launched our Warrior Kids program virtually. We did successfully just have a program in the Fallsburg School District where we had 206 kids virtually, and we're very excited that we're going to be working in the Monticello School District in March and April, which is super exciting. But for those of you who don't know, the Warrior Kids program is it's based on the 5-2-1 almost none model. It's 4 weeks long. The first week focuses on 5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. The second week is less than 2 hours of screen time each day. The third week is 1 hour or more of physical activity every day. And the fourth week addresses drink almost no sugary beverages. We've also added in each one of those 4 components how it affects your mental health, especially now since we've been doing everything virtually and socially distant and things like that. And basically the whole class in conjunction with Cornell Cooperative Extension, actually, B is our nutrition expert, and Demola brings a Zumba-like dance component, which is really super engaging for the kids, and it's been super great. So that is another option for you guys. I'll share my contact information in the link below. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Awesome. Thanks, Maura. 5, 2, 1, almost none. I live it. I love it. And I hope everybody will get to share that in their school districts. Warrior Kids is a great program. Do we have anybody else before we start to wrap up here? Like I say, I know we've kept you on for a really busy, robust hour. You're going to get this presentation in your email, so you'll have it. It's recorded. You'll be able to share it with your Healthier Generation advisors as they come on board. But just another minute here. Anybody else that we missed?
Could we get Jessica from
Yeah.
TIFA?
I'll be real quick. So I'm Jessica Canada. I'm the reality check coordinator for tobacco-free action communities of Ulster, Dutchess, and Sullivan. So our mission is to make the places we live, work, and play tobacco-free. Reality Check is our statewide youth program. And so we work to expose the tobacco industry's manipulative tactics to target young people. So as many of us probably know, the tobacco ads, the colors, the flavors, the presentation of tobacco is not meant for us as adults. It's meant for children and youth to attract them, make them curious, and get them to start using the products. And unfortunately, you know, this has been a problem that's been around for a long, long time. And cigarettes, if used correctly, are the one legal product that kills half its users. So that's the bad news. The good news is our program can help with community education and mobilization and policies to create change that has a healthy outcome for our youth. And Reality Check, it's a little different in each place that we work. Sometimes we work in a school, maybe just with like a government class on a policy piece, or might set up to meet and have a reality check group that meets like twice a month or something. And we also work outside of the schools too. We work with middle school and high school youth. And the youth are just basically, you know, working to help educate their peers on the harms of tobacco, obviously, but then also how they're being tricked into using these products. And so we focus on, with Reality Check Youth, a lot on the retail environment, so where tobacco is available to youth, and then also smoke-free movies is a big part of what we do, and where youth are seeing the images in what they're watching on TV and streaming and all of that sort of stuff. So like I said, Reality Check is pretty flexible as to how it looks with your group, and it can be just like a one-time thing or, you know, an established program. And Reality Check Youth obviously focus on tobacco, but also are learning a lot of great skills like public speaking, letter writing, community organization, and other leadership skills. So that's Reality Check.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being on, Jessica. Really appreciate it. Please make sure everybody gets their contact information into the chat and that you share that. Reminder to all of the wellness coordinators that if you'd like to be a part of our Democrat article, which we would love for you to be a part of, we just need a small photo and a quote. And the question is, what does empowering a healthier generation mean to you? And we'll be sure to get you in that Democrat article. So again, that's just for the school wellness coordinators. Megan, am I missing anything?
Nope, just another reminder that those applications for Healthier Generation Advisors are due by March 5th. We're so excited to get you guys all on board. Thank you to the wellness coordinators for reaching out across your school. I'm sure people get sick of the emails, but we so greatly appreciate it. If you have people who are interested in the Healthier Generation Advisor position, but they're not ready to sign on the dotted line, we are very happy to meet with them one-on-one or provide info sessions, which have been very successful. I know it sounds like a lot, but that's why 180 is here. We're here to help. So please pass that offer along to them.
Okay, Megan, Courtney, and I will stay on for just a couple minutes in case anybody has any other questions. But thank you so much for being here today. This is truly the start of an amazing Empowering a Healthier Generation movement. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda, Megan, and Courtney.
Thank you all. Thank you for being here.
Sullivan 180 team, I have a question. Hi, everybody.
Good. Stay on, Dana. That's what we're here for.
Ta-da! Okay, so here's my question. I think it might be helpful with the